Hello, welcome back to Tank Talks. This is Ian, and today we're back looking at my Nano. The last time we filmed it, we took B-roll instead because there was a bacterial bloom and it was kind of nasty, we couldn't see anything. So today we're back, water is cleared up, like it was like mid-December. So let's talk a little bit about this tank. So it's a 2 foot by 1 foot by 1, I think. It's about 100 liters, 29 gallons, thereabouts. And it's an AIO system, there's no sump. What equipment I run a max spec jump light, a jump Jaya, a Tunzi macro LG reactor, the smaller one. One of these Megas, BB Megas skimmers, mostly for oxygen injection. And I have a bubbler for air stones, just for air, just in case, because I just had one lying around. So yeah, that's pretty much all the equipment there is. And one little wave maker here. So the Jaya pushes stuff down, and then this gives it a little more boost to go up to clear stuff underneath. So you can see the area where the Yumas are. I've created a little shelf so that the Yumas aren't resting on the ground and the detritus are going to collect. So this way, when you look at the tank from the front, you can see it being displayed pretty nicely as opposed to seeing it flat, and there's not much point. So, and I can put in little frag plugs and I just slot them in whenever I buy new ones. So it's a nice little Yuma garden that I've always wanted. So whenever I see a nice Yuma, or a rare Yuma, or a Recordia, or this Discosoma, I'll just pick it up. And we have a bunch of A-cans over here. The A-cans, sadly, are being harassed by the Interruptus Angel and the Filefish. So they extend at night, but yeah, I think they've taken a liking to 1 or 2 pieces, sadly, the more expensive pieces. But the ones here are fine, so pretty annoying, but it's what it is. The Interruptus gets to eat what he wants. We have a bunch of Duncans over there. There's a regular old one at the bottom, and we have one of those dual colored, like Lumi green, like 6 or 7 heads. We have a Cocoa Worm. We have one, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like a reverse sunset or sunset multi. And then we have a Digitata at the back, red Digitata, and a dead multi-cap. The Filefish eats them all the time. They just don't have polyps extensions anymore, but they're still growing and they're not dead. So, to anyone saying that they eat the polyps, I'm not quite sure that they do, but they can rip stuff. I'll feed them and show you guys later. The Goliaths are doing great. At first, when I put them in, they were kind of small, kind of shrunken for a long time, and then the parameters stabled out, and now they're doing great. I dose a bit of iodine, magnesium, and do like water changes, maybe a bucket twice a week, which is like maybe up to here. It's not that much. And then we have the Torch Garden. We have a Dragon Soul. We have a Holy Grail, a Dragon Soul, and 2 I have no idea what they are. But yeah, I had a Tiger Torch which just died overnight from BJD, which is kind of sad. Which is it's always the most expensive ones, right? So what are you gonna do? And then there are a bunch of Zoas we have here. Those were actually put in for me to kind of test the tank at the time. But I kind of like how they look, some of them at least. But I feel like I'm missing a centerpiece in the tank. So I might sell these Zoas off or move them and then place something in there. Maybe I'll move the Zoas to the back wall, let them grow, and then put some centerpiece there. Maybe a clam or something, I don't know. Clam's probably a bad idea of the dwarf, but yeah. And then we have some chalices here. These are pieces I'm trying to resurrect from my cousin. They not looking the best right now, but we'll do what we can. There's a Leptoceras here, which is one of my favorite corals, the jack-o'-lantern. It's encrusting nicely. It's been here for a while now. And GSPs, which I hope to cover the entire bottom area, which, wherever light filters through. So the scape looks like it's floating, but it really is just sitting on a shelf. If you take a look, there's actually like literally a acrylic shelf with acrylic rods beneath it, and I drilled a bunch of holes in to let ventilation through the rocks. This negative space thing gives plenty of room for the interrupters to kind of weave in and out, and for flow to go through it. And even if I take a turkey baster and go at it, not much comes out from it. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I had 3 other fishes in here. I had a algae blenny, I had a mystery wrasse, and a blotchy. All blotchy, Borbonia santias, all really small. The mystery wrasse jumped out of the tank, even with the lid, to a very small hole, which was very upsetting. And the angel just pretty much beat the other guys to death, which is kind of weird. They were together for 2 months, and then he was like, nope, not having it. So the fins were torn, and like every time the algae blenny started to come up, just smacked him in the face. So here's what it is. They have a very large cleaner shrimp, which is cotton, very large. I have a fire shrimp, there's a pom-pom crab, there's an abalone, there is a strawberry crab. I don't know where it is, I've never seen it, but it's a cute red guy with white dots on it. And yeah, a bunch of snails, bumblebee snails, choker snails, turbo snails. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This tank was made just to house the Interruptus. I didn't dare put it in the big display because of the aggressiveness of the tank, but he is a real aggressive eater, as I will show you. And so is the filefish. Let's turn that off real quick. See, they're coming up. It's coming up already. They know, they know. And whoop. I don't know if you can see it from there, but have you seen a fowl? It took me a while to train these guys to eat like this, but it was worth it. I like them. The shrimp also goes crazy for it. Interrupters, of course, very greedy. The tank is kept at about 22 to 20 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Probably low 70s. But it is slightly colder, but that's where they're from, so I try to keep it that way. Some people slowly try to turn it up, which you can do, I guess, but I figured maybe I try to keep it at that temperature because we don't know the long-term effects of, you know, yeah, like, can humans live in the desert? Sure. Is our lifespan shortened? Maybe. So that was kind of my thinking. Yes, energy-wise, it is a bit of more of a cost, but I think we all kind of signed up for that when we started this hobby. So yeah, let's feed it a little bit more. Hopefully we can get some close-up shots on that. Yep, they are crazy. So yeah, I do not feed the corals in this tank whatsoever. I feed it with LRS Reef Frenzy, which contains like, oyster eggs, like that kind of stuff. So some of it gets kind of thrown around the tank, as well as the natural fish waste and invert waste. So the corals have not been fed. Like I said, I did add iodine and magnesium for some of the corals. They seem to be much happier after I did that. But yeah, acans, two of my favorite acans are being eaten alive. But hey man, roll the dice. All's fair. I'm a fish over coral guy, despite it being in the coral tank. So I will just instead probably replace acans with more gonials, more torches, more euphyllias, stuff that they don't eat, and maybe even give the filefish a couple more SPS frags to kind of snack on, which is totally fine. You have to kind of decide for yourself. You care more about if your fish or your coral more important to you, and that will dictate how you want to do things. If you want best of both worlds, you can try, but if you fail, don't be surprised. But yeah, so that's it for this introduction to this nano tank. I have no plans for this anymore. This is done. The stocking is done. I'm not adding anything in this anymore. The cool part about this is I tried to cycle this a bit differently. So I put in a pre-seeded rock for my other tank. Not rock, sorry, the max pack balls. And I put in a bunch of all different bacteria, Microbacter 7, Fritz 9, I just threw a whole bunch of it in. And I added, the next day, I added algae blenny and a cleaner shrimp, and they were fine. Usually my cleaner shrimp is the go-to kind of canary in the coal mine. If there's any ammonia or anything bad, the shrimp's gonna go. Then I added pods. I added a lot of pods, and same with my other tank, which I dose a lot of phyto with. Some of you might know, I dose about 500 ml phyto to my 300 gallon. 250 gallon. So I dose about 250 mLs of phyto here, about every day. And that keeps the phyto happy, and so that keeps the pods happy, and they eat the diatoms, they eat the stuff. The corals eat it as well. It helps contain nutrients. So yeah, it was just a great thing, and fingers crossed, I've not had that ugly stage yet. Still early, 2 months, but we'll see. So far, it's under control. Angel keeps a lot of that in control. But yeah, so these are not diatoms. They look like diatoms, but they're actually green Tetrasalmus algae from the phytoplankton. So yeah, so thanks for sticking around. We have a lot more videos on the channel might interest you. So like, comment, subscribe, tell us what you think. Maybe tell me what I could add in terms of corals, or let us know your experiences with your nano tanks and some problems or successes you faced with. We'd love to hear from you. So, till next time.